Hey, welcome to this edition of Thrive. As always, I hope it finds you well and that life is good. Of course, the talk everywhere at the moment is the weekend's election results. I think, to be fair, most people thought that Labour would win, but I don't think anybody anticipated the landslide that it was. I don't think anybody would have thought that for the first time in our MMP history, one party would get more than 50% of the seats. But there you go. But in the midst of that, as I've been thinking about it, one of the things that I think it teaches us, a very important life lesson if we want to be all that God has called us to be, a life lesson that I think we need to take on board if we want to thrive, is that when you listen to all of the debates and if you look at all of the campaigning that was done over the lead up to the vote, what it shows you is that people follow people before they follow ideas. You know, I think it's safe to say that the overwhelming majority of the vote that Labour got was not for them as a party, but for Jacinda as their leader. She came across as a very personable person. She engaged. She knew how to use communication skills and different communication media to draw people in and to win them to her brand. And I think a large part of the vote was about brand Jacinda rather than the Labour Party. And I'm not trying to bag on the Labour Party. I think it's the same for most of them. In fact, if you were to look at the major parties, one of the things that concerns me through the lead up to the actual vote was the way that there was an absence of constructive debate around policy. It was all about personality. It was all about who can score the most points off each other, who can come across as the most winsome, the most trustworthy, and on it goes. And again, it just highlights that people follow people before they follow ideas. And you know this to be true because think about the people who have had the impact in your life. You know, some of the people who have had the biggest impact in your life haven't necessarily been the smartest, the brightest, the most creative. They've been the people who have engaged you at a heart level. They've been the people that you felt a connection with, that you felt there was something there, that you felt that they saw something in you and sought to call it out. Because people follow people before they follow ideas. You know, think of the great communicators of history. Some of the best communicators, the greatest communicators, were not those with the best ideas. They weren't necessarily the smartest people. They were the people who knew how to build rapport with people. They were people who knew how to engage, not at an ideas level, but at a heart level, at an imagination level. Think of Martin Luther King Jr. He was the one who, I had a dream. And that speech resonates around the world today. And it draws people in and it captivates their imagination. And I say that simply because I think that, you know, if you're going to be all that you are called to be, if you're going to find your voice and make a difference, it's not just about finding your voice to express the dreams, the desires that you have. It's not just about finding your voice to be able to articulate a better way of living, giving people a vision for something that's greater than what they have right now. It's important that as you find your voice, that you learn to engage people as people, that you learn to recognize them as people and speak to their heart, to be able to speak to their emotions, not in a manipulative way, but in a way that builds the type of bridge over which those ideas, those dreams, those visions can find expression in people's lives. You see, no matter how good your idea is, if you can't engage people, if you can't build that rapport, if you can't win them in those first few moments, then that idea is going to die in your heart. So I want to encourage you, as you find your voice, you know, learn to build relationships, learn to engage people as people. And as you do that, your ideas, your dreams, your visions are going to find expression in ways you never began to imagine or conceive. So that's my encouragement. I hope it's helpful. Until next time, God bless.